Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to do like a welcome for anyone who's joining who I don't already know. My name is Annabelle, and I'm super excited to share this practice that I have been working with for a long time. And we're going to start today with this first session because we have the new moon coming up in the next couple of days. You can still do all these practices even if it's not the new moon, but when we connect into the natural cycles, we have this amazing energetic support basically working with us. So we have a few more people still flowing in. I'm going to pop you guys on mute for now as well. So we'll do a little bit of gentle movement just to come into the body and use the movement in a slightly more intentional way. And I want to make sure that everyone has with them at least one cushion or yoga block, some kind of prop that they might need. If it's cold where you are, maybe a blanket, and have a pen and paper, at least 2 pieces of paper for later, just like somewhere nearby to hand, maybe some water, whatever it is that you might need. Cool. And we're going to come seated on our mats. So you might want to just prop your hips up, place a cushion under your hips if cross-legged isn't comfortable, just coming into a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. And Gina, just give me a thumbs up. You can definitely hear the music, right? Yeah? Music is with you guys or not? Oh, it's not. Okay. Okay, hang on, let me check. 1 second. Okay. Is it with you guys now, music? Amazing. Okay, yes. Cool. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. So just closing your eyes and just rolling the shoulders up towards the ears and release them down the back. Maybe moving your head side to side, just twisting, moving the body, maybe even shaking the hands, any excess energy. And then once you feel ready, settling into a place of stillness. Softening all the muscles across the face, relaxing your jaw, and feeling the brows spread across the forehead. Feeling the shoulders really move down, drop down the back. Feel the weight of your whole body sink into your seat bones. So we're grounding down, but at the same time, we have a nice upliftment through the spine. There's a tall spine. Chest is lifted. Feel as if almost there's like a cord pulling you from the crown of your head directly up. The back of the neck is long, chin is slightly tucked. And just taking a deep breath in through your nose. Hold the breath in at the top for a moment. And then exhale, release out through the mouth. Deep exhale, releasing. Again, inhale fully as deeply as you can. Feel your belly expand. Hold the breath in at the top. Exhaling, sigh the breath out through the mouth. Letting go. One more time. Deepest breath in. Holding at the top for a moment. Exhale out the mouth, release. Now breathing in and out through your nose. A little deeper than your natural rhythm. Feeling your body move in response to each breath. So the belly will expand, the ribs, the chest will lift as you breathe in. As you breathe out, chest will drop down, ribs, belly will drop in. Taking your right ear towards your right shoulder, pressing it down. Turn your palms face up on the knees and press down through both elbows, really grounding the elbows down away from the ears. Soften through your jaw, through your throat. And come back to center. Take your other ear over to the other shoulder, press down through both elbows. Relax through the jaw. Just lengthening the side of the neck. Come back to center and cross your legs the opposite way. So the other leg is in front if you're cross-legged. Inhale, take a deep breath in, lift through your chest. Exhale, walk your hands forwards. Release the forehead down towards the ground. Keep wriggling both hands as far forwards as you can. Take nice deep breaths into the back of the body, ribs expanding, and sending your breath into the hips. And slowly bring your hands back towards you. And just take your hands onto the knees. We're going to inhale, round the body forwards, exhale, round the body back. Navel grind. So we're initiating the movement from the navel center. And just rotating in a big wide circle. Closing your eyes. So we're just bringing a little energy into the body, a little heat, a little bit of movement. You can kind of find your own pace, your own rhythm here, but listening to the breath as we breathe in, rounding forwards, as we breathe out, rounding back. Stay inwards with your awareness, feeling, how does it feel to move the body in this way? Spiraling the body the opposite way now. Still breathing in as you round forwards, breathing out as you round back. Make sure the movement is initiated from the navel center. So we're just allowing our energy to ground into the body. So we're just moving in the direction of that feeling state, which we are going to be working with in the manifestation process. So it's important to come into our body, to feel, to listen. So we're not coming from this like heady mental state that can be a little messy sometimes, a little overcrowded with things that might not always be serving us, the thoughts, the habits, the patterns of behavior, the stories that we're telling ourselves. So we're just trying to bring a little more presence into this moment and spiral the circles in towards the middle now. Once you reach that still place, take a really deep breath in through the nose, hold the breath in at the top. And as you do, apply root lock Mula Bandh, squeeze your pelvic floor muscles in and up, roll your eyes up towards the third eye, the place between the brows on the forehead. Keep holding the breath in, drawing the energy up the spine towards the third eye center. Exhale, release the breath out. Bring yourself forwards onto your hands and your knees. Move the spine, inhaling, arching the back, dropping your chest, your belly, your chest forwards, your belly down. Exhale, press into hands and knees, pull your navel up towards your spine. Inhaling, arching the back. Exhaling, rounding through the spine. Breath, moving body, connect the breath into the body. One more round. Start to circle your hips now in one direction. Nice big circles. Maybe bringing the shoulders, the head the neck into this movement. So there's no wrong or right way. Just allow yourself to really feel, awakening all different parts of the spine, some places that maybe haven't been moved today. Circle back in the opposite direction. Keep the eyes closed. When we have the eyes closed and we remove our dominant sense, we're much more able to feel, to listen into our experience, into the body, connect with the breath. And tucking your toes, lifting your hips high, take a downward facing dog. Bending one knee, press into the back of the other heel. Same on the other side, so pedaling out the backs of the legs, one by one. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. This time, release it out the mouth. Press into your hands, long spine. Hips pressing up and back, weight dropping down into your heels. Inhale, lift the heels, float the whole body forwards, high plank. Exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. One more time, inhale, lift the heels, float the body forwards, high plank. Exhale, downward facing. This time, bring yourself forwards, high plank. Exhale, lower the knees to the ground. Lower your whole body down to the ground. Forehead touches the earth and extend your arms out in front. Bring the palms together. Full pranam. Let your whole body be soft. Let it melt into the earth now. Feel yourself be received by the earth. Relax. Let go as much as you can. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Inhale, peel your shoulders, your head off the mat. And we'll just rotate one shoulder, roll it up and back, and then the other. So just moving back, bend, exploring the range of movement here. Allow your head and neck to naturally follow. Close the eyes. Feel, feel, feel. Listen to the body. What sensations are present in your experience right now? Without judging them, just observing, noticing. And sending yourself back into your child's pose. Forehead to the ground. Sit the hips back on the heels. And know that you can come into this position, come rest at any point throughout the next few moments if you need. This is a safe place for you to come back to again and again. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, take a downward facing dog. And taking your awareness to the feet, start to walk your feet all the way up to your hands. Take an inhale, half lift, fingertips onto shins, extend through your spine. Exhale, take a forward fold, but keeping your knees bent. Take your arms back behind you, interlace the fingers and reach them up and overhead. Shake out the head, the neck, let it be heavy, let it be soft. Don't block out the legs, slight bend in the knees. Feel the weight of the torso pull you down as you breathe deeply into your hamstrings, the backs of the legs. Bring your hands down to the ground. Keeping the knees bent, chin tucked, super slowly ripple all the way up to stand. Just pausing in Tadasana, so feet hip width apart, palms open to the front. Grounding down through your heels, kneecaps lift, navel lift, chest lifts, lengthen up through the crown of the head, shoulders releasing down the back. Eyes closed. On you for a moment now. You might already know the fact that you've signed up for this course. You might already know what it is you're manifesting, and you might not, and that's fine. We'll come to that at a later stage. But for now, I want you to focus on a feeling state that you feel your manifestations will come to you. And we're just going to form it in an affirmation. So it can even be something super simple like, I feel happy and at peace, or I am experiencing joy, freedom, whatever it may be. I just want you to figure out what that might be. So really just simplifying all that we feel our intentions might bring to us, or what we want them to bring to us. What's the emotion that we want to experience at the end? Is it just simply happiness, joy, freedom, whatever it is? Bring that into an affirmation for you. So there's no right or wrong here. Just let yourself form it into a very short sentence, like, I feel at ease. I am, but without using a negative. So it wouldn't be like, I don't feel anxious. It would be, I am free from anxiety, or my mind is at ease, at peace. So finding a positive statement. And once you have that form, we're going to take a gentle moving meditation. So step your feet a little wide and now toes slightly out. And we're going to bend the knees, open the hands, draw up from the earth. Inhale really deep, really full. Bring the hands all the way to the heart. Flip your palms face down. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, drawing up. Super slowly moving here. All the way up to the heart. Exhale, press the palms down. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, press the palms face down. Close your eyes now. We're just going to continue with this really simple movement. We're going to strengthen the movement with our intention. So as you inhale, you are drawing up from the earth that energy that is available to you, whether it's happiness, freedom, whatever the energy of your intention, the feeling that you want to bring in. Imagine you're drawing it in, like thanking the earth for bringing this energy into your life, into your experience. Really imagine, visualize. As you exhale, you can even strengthen it deeper and kind of exhale, release, give back to the earth anything that is not that, anything that's getting in your way. So we're doing this with every single breath, really. We're bringing in new, fresh oxygen to nourish our body, our mind. We're exhaling out all that we no longer need, whatever is not serving us. So bringing in, whether it's peace, happiness, joy, freedom. Exhaling out anything that is not that, freeing our body energetically from that load on the level of intention, maybe visualizing. If you feel like you've got a lot to release, maybe it's these stories, these patterns of behavior that are not serving, you can even exhale the breath out in 3 parts. For more release, a deeper release if you need. Inhaling through the nose, drawing it up, exhale out the mouth. 1 part, or maybe 3 parts. Really letting go, releasing. Any of that stagnant, stale energy that is not supporting your visions, your dreams, your intentions, the way in which you want to be. We're going to do 2 more rounds now. Make it really slow, really intentional. Connect in with your intention. Last one. Pausing at the top. Open your palms, face up, keep the eyes closed. Just take a moment to receive on the subtle energetic level what we've just been doing. Witnessing your breath. Surrendering into this moment exactly as you are. Nothing is wrong. Bringing your hands to the heart, joining them together. If you're not already, step to the front of your mat. We're going to move through a moon salutation, connecting in with our intention, the word that you came up with, the affirmation. We're going to use this movement as a body prayer. So you will connect into the different parts of the cycle of the movement, but keeping it in the back of your mind, but actually moving it from your mind into your physical body, into the movements that we're doing. And you'll find your own way of doing this. I'll guide you through the first few rounds. Take a deep breath in, reach your arms up, look to the thumbs. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, take a half lift to the back. Step the right foot back. And the left foot, keep your hips high, downward facing dog. Drop your knees down to the ground. Sit back on your heels. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come high onto your knees. Sweep the arms up, hook your thumbs. Open the heart. Back bend. Join the two palms together. Exhale, hands to the back of the neck. Super slowly lower down. Hips to heels, forehead to the ground. Pause for a moment here. In stillness. Bring your hands out in front. Slide the body through, chin, chest stay low to the ground. Inhale to your back bend. Cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, that right leg rises high. And step the foot forward. Left foot comes to the front of the mat. Inhale, take a half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up. Look to the thumbs. Exhale, hands to the heart. Pause, receive that right side. So we're going to do the same on the left side. And see if you can close your eyes for the whole duration of the movement, especially if you're familiar with this one. You can just listen to my guidance. Feel your way through the postures with a little more presence, a little more intention, remembering your affirmation. How does it feel when you are in this position and you remember your affirmation? Inhale, press into the heels, look up to the thumbs. Opening, lengthening. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, half lift. Step that left foot back this time. Right foot comes to the back of the mat. Hips high, downward facing dog. Exhale, drop knees to the ground. Hips to the heels, child's pose. Forehead to the earth. Inhaling, coming high onto your knees. Hook the thumbs, open the heart, baby back bend, opening the body to receive. Hands together at the back of the neck. See if you can keep the eyes closed here as you slowly lower hips to heels, forehead to the earth. Pausing to receive once you reach the bottom. Be still. Reflect, remember your heart's prayer. Bring your hands out in front. Slide the body through. Inhale. Exhale. Send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale. That left leg rises high. Step the foot forward. Lunge. Right foot comes to the front of the mat. Inhale. Lengthen. Half lift. Extend. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, rising up. Look to the thumbs. Exhale, return the hands back to the heart. Keep the eyes closed. Pause. Be still, reflect, receive. You're going to do once more on each side. See how much you can do with the eyes closed, trusting yourself to move through. Remember, it doesn't matter if you get it wrong. Inhale, reach up, look to the thumbs. Opening, lengthening, requesting. Exhale, folding forwards, grounding down. Inhale, half lift. Step that right foot back. Left foot back. Downward facing dog. Knees to the ground. Exhale, child's pose. Third eye kisses the earth. Inhale, sweep the body up high on the knees, open to your heart and the chest. Hands to the back of the neck, slowly lowering down. Connect to the earth. Pause, be still. Hands out in front. Inhale, slide the body through. Open the chest again, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just noticing how the different elements feel when you connect into your intention. Right leg rises high. Step it forward. Left foot to the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising high. Look to the thumbs. Exhale, float the hands down to the heart. Pause, receive. Be. Not thinking, not doing, just being in this moment. Last time on the left side. Inhale, lengthen, remembering your affirmation, your heart's prayer, your request. Exhale, folding, grounding down, integrating into the movement. Inhale, half lift. Left foot steps back, right foot back, downward facing hips high. Exhale, knees to the ground, hips to heels, child's. Inhale, sweeping up, opening the heart. Hands to the back of the neck, fold forward, forehead to the earth. Pause in gratitude. Feeling all the different parts of this cycle in their fullness. Reach your hands forward, slide the body through. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing. Left leg rises high. Step it forward. Right foot forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reaching up. Look to the thumbs. Hands to the heart. Keep the eyes closed. Maybe feeling the heart beating a little stronger, a little heat in the body perhaps even. Keep your feet a bit wider. Toes pointing slightly out. We're going to squat down to the ground, bend the knees. Lift the chest. Activate Mula Bandha. Squeeze the pelvic floor in and up. And come to sit. Find that comfortable seat. Well done guys for bearing with the building sounds. They're not ideal. Coming back into that comfortable seat where we started. Closing your eyes, keep them closed, stay inward. We're going to just take a breath. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale fully, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue counting internally, keeping the breath even. Equal length, inhale and exhale. And now just extending the length of the exhale, inhaling for 4, exhaling for 6. And now extending the exhale even more, if you can take it out to 8. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 8. Few rounds like this. Just allowing ourselves to really drop into a little more stillness. Last round of breath like this. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 8. And now taking natural breath, easy rhythm. When you're ready, opening your eyes, taking your pen and your paper, and like I said, you might already know what it is you're manifesting, or maybe from this place, we're going to use the stillness to bring it to mind. So what I want you to do is write in the present tense, as if it already exists, what it is that you want to create for this specific month, right? And they can be big goals into the future, or they can be more specific, smaller ones, but we're also going to break them down into more actionable steps anyway. So you can focus on something quite big if you want, right? And allow yourself to find that balance of like what you truly, truly desire, truly want, but also, you know, watch yourself. If you're writing it and you're like, oh my God, this just feels so far away, that's okay. Like, that's good to know, because then we start to become aware that there's a block, that we don't fully believe that this is possible. And so we're going to be working through the whole manifestation process in this month together, where we will be working, like next week, we'll be working more with the blocks that will come up, right? So it's okay if you do something that feels far away, but if it's something you truly desire, like, that's fine to work with it. Okay. So it's like, usually you will want to go for something that's a little bit like you're stretching yourself. It's like, it's not happening right now. It's a little out of your comfort zone. That's fine. And if you need to take more stillness, just close your eyes, like, what, and ask yourself some of these prompt questions. What is it I truly want? Like, you can use that affirmation that we worked with at the beginning, like, what will bring me peace, freedom? Like, what do I think will bring me peace, freedom? And so as you write these in the present tense, every single thing that you write, you can have more than one. You can focus in on one theme. Say it's career and you're doing a few different career goals. That's okay. You can focus on just one thing if you want to do that as well. That's really important. So there can be a few bullet points, but every single one that you write, I want you to strengthen it with an emotion, and an elevated emotion, a really expansive, positive emotion. Like, so you're writing in the present tense, for example, like, I have earned £3,000 this month, for example, and I feel amazing. I feel so proud of myself. I feel so grateful that I found a way to do this. So you can put the emotion before or at the end. So if you're working with that emotion, like I said, that we did in the practice, it can be like, I feel so grateful because I finally lost a stone, or whatever it might be. And it feels wonderful. So just keep strengthening it with an emotion. So we're using, gratitude is one of the best emotions that we work with in manifestation, because it's the frequency of already having. So what I want to be really careful with, and what we'll talk about in the next session, is getting stuck in that wanting state, the desiring it too much, because the desiring it, wanting it, is the same vibration as not having it. So that's why we use a lot of gratitude, and you'll have some gratitude homework that we'll work with, which I'll share in a bit. We have a few more minutes and I'm going to work with mine as well. And just also remembering that if you have a desire for it, it's a possibility for you. You wouldn't have the desire if it wasn't possible, right? So we really want to stay expansive in our mind and not stop ourselves from like, oh no, that's not possible. You know, that's not achievable. Like if you feel ready to use this opportunity to really go for those things that you want that have been stuck for years, like go for it, you know, go big if it feels like the right time, or if you feel like you want to use this opportunity to go with something more achievable to like practice the techniques, you can also do that, right? And then if you finish this step, but no rush, take another piece of paper, a separate piece of paper that you can like rip out, ideally, if possible, or like a scrap paper, whatever. And on this next piece of paper, we're going to write down, we're going to look at our intentions, our goals, and write down a few actionable steps that you can take already that you know, like, okay, so say I want to lose 10 pounds. I'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to go for some runs and like, but like put them into really real actionable steps like that you can implement straight away for this month, right? To see if it works. So with each point that you have, make sure you have at least one actionable step, but you can have more. And also just checking, making sure with every single intention you've written, there's an elevated emotion around it. How does that make you feel having it? Close your eyes, visualize it, imagine you have it for a moment. What does it feel like to have this? To be this, to be living this, experiencing this. And then the next stage of the actionable steps is putting in your phone calendar. We're going to start with at least just one in your calendar if you have a diary, or most of us use phone calendars now. We're going to put in a time of like, okay, well, when can I action this? So say for example, it's losing weight. Okay, I'm going to go for a run. So like put it in your calendar. When is a time when I'm going to actually do this? So, you know, if you don't have a phone or a calendar with you, you can just write down like, I'm going to do this at this time, or by this date, I'm going to have, you know, whether it's like, I'm going to go for 3 runs a week, say, I'm going to do a run on this day at this time. I'm going to do my second run at this day on this time. So it's like bringing the action steps into our reality, right? So guys, also I want to open the space. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat or take yourself off mute and throw them into the space. Okay, last couple of minutes doing this. Again, just cross-checking, make sure you have an emotion with each one. If you're done, you can use this time to just like read one, say it, feel it, close your eyes, like embody it on the level of vibration. We want to be the vibration of what it is we're bringing in. So just feel it, imagine it, let a smile come to your face, let your heart expand, like, wow, oh my God, imagine if this was real. Like, just take yourself as if it's real, like getting in touch with that. You know, children are amazing manifestors because they are truly in that game that they are playing. How does it feel? And like notice also if you're struggling to reach that place, if it's like, oh, I can't take myself there, it doesn't feel real, that's also fine. Witness that and make a note of it, like even for now, because this will help for next week, the second session. I have some blocks, like this doesn't quite feel real or possible for me. So if there's blocks around it and it's coming up and you're like, I just can't take myself to imagining that this is possible or real, just make a note of that, like put a star, like struggling to feel this one, or like whatever you need to do, just this will help for the next step. But we still have those actionable steps for each and every one. And then I'm going to share an example. I'm going to share the next part of the practice that we're going to do. And what I thought was it would be homework between the sessions. So at least once a week, you're going to partner with someone, whether it's someone from this call, which would be quite good because you both know the technique that I'm about to teach you, or it might be someone in your life who you know would like understand what you're doing and wants to support you, has your best interests at mind, and might have the capacity to hold space for you and give you like half an hour each week for you to go into your vision and for them to support you. And equally, you can do the same for them, you can teach them. So it might be someone close to you, someone who, but like I will partner you with people on this if you want to do that as well, because that's very cool, because you guys both are doing this journey together, right? So I'm going to share the technique with you now, and you might want to make a few notes on this. And I call the two people, one is the visioner and one is the holder. And so generally the way in which you would do this would be like, okay, let's set aside an hour in the week before the next session where you hold space for me for half an hour, I do it for you. So you can do it in one go or like two separate half an hour blocks. You really might not need half an hour. It might be more like 10-15 minutes. But the more you can go into it, the better. So you might even, if you're really on it, you and your partner, you might want to do like, let's do twice a week. Great, right? The more energy you put in, the better. The more you are in that vibration, the better. And so we use this technique to help ourselves really get into the vibration, okay? So you decide someone's going to be the visioner, someone's going to be the holder. So for example, I'm the visioner and this is my holder here, right? So I would just say I would set the scene with my partner and I would say, okay, this is what I'm visioning and I'm just going to go into it. I'm going to so I'll do my exact example that I'm doing for this month. Okay. So I'm I want to feel at home. I want to be in a home space where I feel like super connected to the land. I want to be in nature. I want to have like-minded community around me, and I just want to feel like grounded and settled and at home, right? And I want to feel inspired by my environment. I want to feel loved by the people around me. And so I would start by maybe just being like, okay, I'm just going to do a day in this life, just imagining I'm waking up. And I'll start saying like, oh, okay, so I'm waking up, I look out the window and it's all like, my eyes will be closed because this helps me to vision up, like it's green. I go out to the garden, I pick some fruit off the tree, I bring it into the kitchen, and my friend is there and they're like also making tea. And then I go and, basically just go through the motions. You can go into and allow yourself to free flow, because it might go in a direction that you don't even imagine. So you'll just be going, but with the intention to constantly come back to the feeling state. Okay, so this is so important, because what that does is it massively speeds up the process, because you're dropping into that vibration and you're emanating that vibration out into the world. So then you become a match to that experience that you want to attract. You're drawing it into your field. It exists. If it exists in your imagination, it exists in the world, in the universe, but you have to be a match to that frequency and be it. So when we're feeling these emotions that we are connected to what we think that will bring, then we're speeding up the process. Okay, so you just have to go with it, go like fully as deep as you can into it. And what the holder will do is just be present. Like, they might not have to say anything, and that's fine. They are just going to focus fully on deep listening to you. Okay, so they're just going to hold that vision and watch you in that vision, watch you do it, hold it for you, because the holder has none of these blocks or limiting beliefs around this vision for you, most likely. And they're just going to hold it for you and be an energetic support, seeing you do that. Okay. And the only time that they might interrupt is if they see you in an emotion and you're kind of like, or you're not doing enough emotions. They'll be like, oh, how does that feel? So they'll prompt you and say, how does that feel? Can you tell me about that feeling? And maybe they'll try and elaborate, like, does that feeling have a color, a texture, a smell, a taste? Tell me more about the feeling, and can you stay in that feeling a little longer? Can you expand it out into your body? Just tell me more about that feeling state. Just really guide them to keep them really in that feeling. So that would be one reason why the holder would interject. The other reason would be if the visioner was really struggling, the holder might bring some prompt questions in, but without putting any of their own agenda, or they have to be very expansive questions, like, so say someone's just struggling to get into it, they might ask a question like, okay, why don't you break it down into just start with the feeling, and then or start with the thing, and then they'll just ask very simple questions to prompt that person. Okay, but generally their main job is to listen, be present, hold the vision, and then also get them to stay in the feeling state, remind them to bring them back maybe 2, 3, 4 times, and then the session will come to a natural end. The vision will come to a natural end, usually bathing in this really elevated, like, oh wow, this just feels amazing, like, kind of thing. And then you'll and the holder will also be keeping track of the time and give them maybe like a 1-minute warning if they're moving towards the end of the time, right? So that's like how it will play out in a great way. But it might also, the visioner might be really struggling and just coming up against blocks, constantly like, oh, I'm really struggling, this just doesn't feel real, I can't take myself there. That's also so fine, and that's so good, because what it's showing us is where the blocks exist, where there are limiting beliefs, which we're going to work through more in the next session, because we'll kind of be more established of where these blocks lie. So what the holder will do in those moments when someone's like, I really can't take myself there, then the holder might just inquire and again ask questions, like, and just get that, maybe get that person to write some notes of like, okay, well, ready for next session. So we're going to really tackle the blocks as they come up next session, but the holder will just be very compassionate and like just say words of support, like, it's okay, there's nothing wrong, like, this is great that we know that there's a block here, so like now we can tackle the block, right? So they might just help to, like, maybe they will be able to be like, okay, well, why don't you just break it down a little more? Like, if the big vision feels too out there, too far away, too expansive, the holder might be like, okay, well, maybe we, rather than just you know, a whole day of living this life, like how can you apply this feeling state, or how do you activate this feeling state to just shift them into the feeling state, or how do you act? So for example, wanting to live in nature, someone could say, my holder could say, okay, well, where you are living right now, how could you bring more nature into your world to feel more inspired? And I could be like, oh, I guess I could buy a few plants and bring them into my space, and that will like help me. So we just move in some baby steps, right? So hopefully that, does anyone have any questions on that? Have I missed anything? Let me know. Okay, great, amazing. So you have 3 pieces of homework to do before the next session, whether you're joining or doing it online, either is fine. One is to, with your partner, I will do that at the end, like connect you guys, to arrange a time and put that in your calendar, and like, okay, I'm going to hold space for you at this point, and maybe we can do it in 1 session or 2 sessions. That's also fine, right? How much time can you give to this? And it's also like super fun, guys. It's so fun to be in this dream world, to activate that frequency, and you'll notice yourself like feel closer to it as well. So that's one piece, is to do the partner work, the partner visioning, be a visioner and also a holder. And that's good to watch someone else in their process as well. That can be super exciting and inspiring. And then the other one, if you haven't already done, make sure you have the actionable steps in your calendar. Okay, so that we have to focus on the action energy and bring it into reality in some form like that. So there needs to be some actionable steps. The other thing, what you can do, so with the actionable steps, we can keep this somewhere where we see it, maybe up on the fridge, in the kitchen, just somewhere, maybe on your desk. But the intentions, we can actually, maybe you want to contemplate it on them a little more for the next couple of days, you can shift them. But generally, you want to put them away. Like we've set them now, we've got our actionable steps, we like release them. We're kind of clear on the emotions. And so I personally put them under my pillow, like fold them up, put them under my pillow. So like, I feel like there's this some form of energetic, like I put these to bed for now, right? And there's another time in the month when they come back into our world, but we can kind of leave them to one side. Maybe if you have an altar, you can put them on your altar, like charge them up when you go meditate, whatever you want. That one can kind of go once you feel like very clear, okay, these are clear, you can put it to one side. But the actionable piece of paper you have in your present awareness. And then the last part of the homework is, and it is more, this one's more of an invitation, and it's very good because I said gratitude is such an amazing emotion to work with, is to start a gratitude journal every day. I personally do it every night. Well, I used to do it every night before bed, but I'm going to start again with you guys, to write just 3 things at least that you're grateful for from that day, that are that are helping you to reach your goals, these visions, right? So for some days, if you like, yeah, I went for that run, like you can write that, like I'm so grateful that I managed to get myself going out for this run. It feels great. Whatever you're doing. Or even if you feel like you haven't made an obvious step towards your goals, an obvious actionable step, you can also just focus on, find a way to reframe it. Like, I'm grateful that I made it out of bed today, and that in itself is helping me reach my goals. You know, it can be something very simple. You can always find a way of positively like shifting, reframing it into like, no, I fed myself healthy food today. I made some time to reflect, whatever it is. I connected with a friend, and that helped. And I noticed myself shifting into these elevated emotions. I was feeling joy and happiness, and that is great. So every day, 3 things that maybe you can just do general things you're grateful for, or you can be more intentional of like the grateful of the things that are moving you towards your vision, right? So that just keeps it a little more on point. Yeah. Any other questions? Wow, I've done this like perfectly on time. I can't believe it. So thank you for like bearing with the sound. Like, I'm so sorry about this of all the days. For people who want to be paired, if you have someone in mind who you want to do this with, great, go for it. And you can even share this, the recording with the person who might be interested, right? But for anyone who wants to do it with someone in the group, stay on the call and we'll figure out some pairing now. Because it can be quite cool if two people are working on the same kind of thing. It can be very cool to like really go through that process together, hold each other accountable. And you are all like beautiful people here, so I would love to connect you in with your partners.